Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, KK Kaneshiro. The Fremont Unified School District is committed to ensuring academic success for every student and achieving the goal of establishing partnerships to increase academic success for all students. As part of the district's ongoing efforts, FUSD has formed a district equity team to develop equity plan focused on closing achievement and opportunity gaps for students across all ethnicities and economic status. With us to talk about the district's effort to promote equity is Director of Student Support Services, Dr. Mark Campbell, and Educational Equity Coordinator, Dr. Deshawn Givens. That's a lot of equity in this. But first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, first, for anyone, especially our viewing audience, has never heard of this issue in our schools, they've been living underneath a rock, I'm not sure what, but could you start with the definition of what equity means?
Sure.
Well, with our equity team, we actually decided to come up with a definition that we could all understand so that we'd have a shared idea of what we would be doing in our team. So I brought the equity definition that we're using as a district. Educational equity provides access to holistic, such as educational, social, and emotional services, and resources through our systems and structures that contribute to development and success.
Okay.
It provides a safe and accepting environment through differentiated opportunities by supporting positive relationships within all communities, which evens the playing field for all of our students.
Okay, that's a great plan. How do you do it? How do you make this happen? I mean, this is a big issue for a lot of people. It's a challenge, but how do you get the community involved? How do you get the students to buy into this, that they say, hey, I kind of need help with their teacher, you know? How do you get this going?
Maybe I can start and then you can fill in the gaps. I think that what's really nice and incredible while working in Fremont is that we have educators and we have administrators here in our district that are fully committed to equitable conditions for all of our students. And so what we say here is that we get to do this work, and this is an opportunity for us to provide these outstanding chances and opportunities for all of our students. And when we mean all, it's like all means all here in Fremont.
No matter what grade level.
No matter what grade level.
Okay.
And so I think what's really inspiring is that our educational leaders have accepted the challenge, but they've done it in such a way that they're excited about it because they realize how important it is.
Good.
And as far as the team, what we did was we reached out to the community, and we reached out to our staff members, and we reached out to students. So the team that we've created includes people from different religious backgrounds, people from different cultures. We've got parents on our team, we've got students on our team, and we're constantly reaching out for more students as well.
Oh, that's great. Because I like some of your community members. You have Officer Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
You have Rabbi Fuss there.
Yes.
He's phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I forget who I couldn't believe that you got Sister Marianette.
Yes.
She's fabulous.
We've got a great team.
Yeah, you do. And then you guys meet on a quarterly basis? Is that how this works?
Currently, it's on a quarterly basis. We're actually forming subcommittees so that we can actually get things done around each of the groups that we're looking at and targeting.
Okay. So for that student out there who is lost for whatever reason, how do you reach out for them? Because they're usually disconnected. Is it the teacher that looks out for this at the basic level and then it goes up? Or how does this work?
I think it's a combination of things.
Okay.
We're actually rolling out cost at the sites where teachers would refer people.
Okay.
But at the same time, we're doing focus groups where we're talking to students about what's going on. And we're also doing forums at every site. So there are all these opportunities for students to let us know what's going on. We did a forum just the other day and a student reached out specifically.
Great. Because a lot of students are, for whatever reason, whether it's intimidation or they're nervous or they're afraid to talk to their teacher about whatever.
Mm-hmm. So
if they see a forum, it's like, oh, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
And one of to add on what Dr. Gibbons said is that an instrument that we use is data. And so the California Healthy Kids Survey, which is
Okay.
outside the scope a little bit of equity. However, because of our equity work, I think that the data that every school site has in terms of does every student feel like there is an adult on campus they can go to?
Okay.
Do the students feel connected to their school site? And so I know that I've had some conversations with some principals in the district that they're being really intentional about that data in terms of looking at comparing their data to who is connected, more importantly, who is not connected,
Yes.
comparing that to who's getting suspended, the DNF list, and really having conversations with staff members and saying, all right, these are the kids that are not connected. So
Right.
what are we going to do as a staff to make sure they feel connected?
Right.
And so it's really multi-levels. And so we have the focus groups and the forums, and we have the coordination of services team that are identifying, but it's also principals are leading those conversations as in their staff meetings as well.
That's great, because I think a lot of kids who seem disconnected, you really see that at the lunch hour. When they're sitting by themselves,
Right.
they're not talking to anybody, no one's engaging them in anything. And I think in my day, we call them the lunch ladies, who made sure that every child who's ever having lunch had someone to talk to or was with somebody. You know, they understood, you know, how the lunch line worked and all this other things. So I love how the principals are reaching out to every level of staff that they have, if I'm thinking correctly.
Yeah, I mean that's what you see during lunch. Maybe someone eating lunch by themselves, but how it plays out is that maybe that student doesn't feel connected, so maybe
Right.
they're getting in trouble, maybe their grades aren't as good, maybe they have attendance issues, and so it's really looking at a comprehensive approach in terms of how to keep students connected.
This is great.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long has this program been in effect? Is it just in its first year, second year?
So the equity work itself, we started last year.
Last year. Okay. And
Yeah, so we're near two.
congratulations, because
Yeah,
the first
it's
year is hard.
Yes.
Now, what did the parents think? Have you talked to any parents or got any feedback from the parents?
So we're
Are they
working
involved?
on ways to engage our parents.
Okay, good.
Some at different sites, they're bringing in parents for different things. We did a
Nice.
circle with one of the schools and actually brought parents in to talk about a few things.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And so we are also engaging parents through the equity team, but also through APAC, which is for our African American parents.
Perfect.
And in addition, I've actually been supporting some school sites with restorative practices where we actually have brought parents in to talk about what we're doing with that as well.
That's awesome. And that went well?
It went well. They said,
Good.
when can we do more of this?
Because we've got
So-
fantastic parents in the
Right.
FUSD district, I
Absolutely.
think, right?
Absolutely.
I think they're very
Yeah.
engaged. They really want
Yeah.
to have their children, all children, succeed, not just their own, which I
Right.
like to see that more.
And they want to partner with the district,
Yes.
and they want to partner with the school,
Yes.
which is really, really important.
Yes.
Because everybody's a stakeholder, and
Yes.
and so it's all three of us working together: the parents, the staff, and the students working together.
Right.
Really, and we all want the same thing. We want students to be successful, and so
Right.
how do we work together
Right.
to make that happen?
Right. So where do you guys see yourself in a couple of years?
Wow. Right now, as far as the work,
Yes.
right now, our hope is that even though some of this work came out of a resolution, that we make this just a part of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Here in our district, we're looking at lessons around protected classes. We're looking at
Oh, nice.
continuing with the focus groups and forums because
Okay.
to me, student voice is one of the most important things
Right.
we can use to decide what to do in our district.
Right.
And so continuing that work, and with our equity team, we're building subcommittees around different groups of students so that we can make sure that we're supporting everybody,
Oh,
which
I
is
love
what
that.
equity is really
Yes.
about.
Yes.
And so that's where we're headed this year, even with our equity team.
So have you gone to a lot of elementary schools as well, or are you just focusing on the second year on high school and junior high, or are you doing it all?
All schools,
All schools.
across the board.
I love that.
Starting last year, all
I
schools.
love
So when
that.
I do focus groups, what I do is I schedule an elementary, a middle, and a high school
Okay.
so that we're consistently going elementary,
Right.
middle, high, and we're not leaving anyone out of the conversation.
That's great. Wow. This is amazing. So if anyone would like to volunteer to be on your team, who should they contact? Because
They
I
should-
think,
Definitely me.
okay,
And also they should know that there's actually a page on our website that connects to the equity team, so they could also see what we're talking about.
oh, good,
Our notes are there.
good.
our slideshows, everything that we're doing is there
Yeah.
and available.
Because you can never have enough volunteers,
You cannot.
especially on that
And
phenomenal team you've
especially
got.
as we're building our specific committees,
Right,
we want people that are very committed to whichever team that they come and join.
right. This is great.
Can I add one other thing?
Yes.
So one of the things that we're going to eventually shortly send to our students is a school climate survey. And it's going to go to grades 7 through 12.
Okay.
So they're going to get a climate survey into their school loop mail. And then also we're also going to survey grades 4, 5, and 6. And it's an optional survey, but we're
Okay.
going to ask them about their experience at the school. And we're going to get that data. Again, we're going to compile it as a district, and then we're going to be able to compile it school by school so that we have an understanding in terms of the student's experience. And then we will analyze it, and then we will get back again to our
Okay.
leaders, our site leaders, and we will present the data and then engage with our school leaders in terms of, all right, this is from the student's perspective, their experience.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of action plan, what sort of plan can we put in place
Right.
to identify some areas or like celebrate what's happening, that's good
Right.
at the school as well.
So what time of year are you thinking of doing that? Like at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the school year?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so the
that's
survey's gonna go out this month.
Okay.
And so we're gonna give them a month or so to complete the survey.
Yeah.
And then we have 35,000 students, and
I
so
know. It's like, wow.
it could take a while for us to compile the data and
Yes.
analyze it, but we hope then to engage the principals at some point in the wintertime with some initial findings, and then working with the principals in terms, and also Dr. Gibbons, of course, in terms of coming up with action plans.
It's kind of a report card on the teachers that the survey is. But I want teachers to understand that's not what this is about. This is trying to understand what the child is feeling and going through, right?
It's definitely not about the teachers.
Okay.
It is definitely not about the teachers.
Because I want to make sure our
it's
viewers understand.
Absolutely
Okay.
right. It absolutely not. It's not even close. And so
Good.
what it is just we're going to ask the students about their experience, and so then they can share about their experience
Freely.
on what's happening at their school site.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I think kids would be intimidated if it was the other way around. Telling,
Surprisingly,
really?
I'm doing focus groups and forums with students. And so when I'm doing focus groups, there's maybe about 8 to 10 kids, and they're very open
Wow.
about everything that they're experiencing. But that's just 10 kids at a time.
Right.
So getting that same conversation happening
With
through a
35,000.
survey is very different. But every group, every forum I've attended, the students actually run their own forums at the high school.
Oh,
But
love
everyone,
that.
and then they share the data with me. But the fact that they're able to hold those kind of conversations and then are able to open up with me. I went to a middle school recently. They're completely open.
Oh.
And they're not afraid. We just have to
They
build
feel
trust
safe.
with them. They feel
That-
safe.
yeah,
And
they
often
can-
they feel safe if someone from outside of the setting talks to them.
Yeah.
And so this is a way to do that, to share that with
Yes.
somebody that's not my teacher, but that way we
Yes.
get real data,
Yeah.
not what they think the teacher wants them to say.
Okay.
Well, Dr. Gibbons is being very humble. I think that we need to give her
Did
credit.
you see her face?
Well, we need to give her credit because she's really kind of a master at creating a safe space
Yeah.
and making sure that it's really inclusive, and so people feel comfortable sharing as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So your forums happen
So
twice a year?
once a year for the
Okay.
forums. However, what's happened is that some of them have caught fire. And so they're so excited about this that some schools are doing it monthly. Some schools are
nice.
consistently sharing that data with us. We've got, around equity, we've got some schools that have created their own equity team that looks at that data and calls me in to talk about it. So in
You
a lot
gotta
of
love that.
spaces, it's caught fire. It's not just the one time.
Right.
It's the one time that I'm requiring, but it's going on a lot. And our students were excited this year. Oh, we're doing forums again. Can't wait to run those. Our Surfboard E group
Yes.
has been running those. And so it's been great. And they've been wanting to help other schools. So
Wow.
it's caught fire. And
That's
yeah, I always say,
amazing.
look what we get to do. Like, we get to go out and help kids. We get to save lives. We get to do all of this work.
This is amazing. I congratulate both of you on this. It's going to be a lot of data to read and go over, but you guys are doing a phenomenal job because I've heard good things, and I'm not part of the school district, so that's a good clue.
Well, I agree. I mean, there's a lot to celebrate, right? And every system has challenges, but there's a lot to celebrate
Yeah.
in terms of like what happens every day.
Yes,
But it's also good to ask the questions in terms of how we can improve.
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on this show. Do
thank you.
appreciate you being here. You guys were phenomenal. I wish you the best. You don't need it, but good luck to you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Yeah, thank
And from everyone here at Community Conversations, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.